how do we secure the bag without selling our soul? From your experience in marketing, how do you walk the line where snowboarding can honor its anti-establishment roots while milking the deep, sweet corporate budgets of big brands? On both the industry and pro rider side, what does that look like, and who are some of the ones doing it right? Couple parts there.
What was his name?
That's a good question.
James Crosby.
Fucking grow up, James. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Yeah, I don't know if there's a necessary evil of money, right? I don't know how pure snowboarding's anti-establishment soul may be. So I would say you can be true to who you are, and you can associate with people who are in line with your values, and your guiding light needs to be your values. I think for me, the best company I ever worked for was New Belgium, which was Fat Tire, Voodoo Ranger, those. And the company-wide, they had shared values that aligned, and it wasn't just sort of the mission statement and you gloss over it and you don't think about it. Like, all the employees, everyone lived it and had it. So it wasn't just like it wasn't a motivational poster where it's like, our values are these. It's like people held each other accountable and helped each other out. And it was a great thing. And it was, made over a couple decades of leadership saying, this is who we're going to be. Kim Jordan, she was a social worker, and it was like really important to her for the company to have these values and everyone to line up to them. So I think the only way you can save your soul is to stay with people that are aligned with your values, and those values are different for everyone. What's important to someone may not be important to someone else. I think we're in the scariest time in my life right now, just with what's going on in the US, outside of snowboarding. So I don't think the salad days or the big corporate money is going to get any easier. These tariffs are going to fuck everyone up. We're looking at a recession and all that kind of shit. So the true path is just staying with your people and staying with the people that have your values. And an interesting way to think about it, and this is something that was said to me at New Belgium, is your values aren't your values until they cost you something. So that whole the whole idea that snowboarding's got this thing about it, the snowboarding community has this thing about it, is like, well, that's true if you're willing to sacrifice for it, if you're willing to give up for it, then those are true values. But if it's just like, a marketing ploy, then yeah. I don't know if that was the...
What do you think about energy drinks in the space?
I think everybody in every sideways standing sport would be fucked without energy drinks. Do I think they're good for you? I don't know. I don't think so. Do I drink them? No. But, I just ran into Grace, Luke, and Ben Ferg, and they're all like at the Red Bull facility in LA rehabbing their shit. And it's like, that's pretty cool. Like, they look after their athletes. I think it's weird that, they're like cultish, or like, it's Red Bull or nothing, Monster or nothing, rocks, and like, you can't talk about each other. Like, it's weird, but it's great that someone's doing something for people. I don't know. I'd be tripping if I was a snowboarder right now. Like, your board sponsor gives you what, $15 a month? I don't know. They don't got money, or maybe they do. I might be misinformed, but it's a necessary evil. I think what worked well at Thrasher, what served Thrasher well, and what I always admired about it, and it was by design but not really communicated, is if you sort of go, these are our guys, and we'll stick by our guys. So like using ad rates as an example. The board companies, wheel companies, those are our guys. So they get this minimum rate. And then you just know that there's going to be these little black swans that come and go, and you don't know what they are, but they're going to come and they're going to go. And then you use them for what they are for that time period. So, at one point it was video game money, and then it was cell phone money, and energy drink money, beer money, whatever that money is. I think that money's important because collectively a industry was built that's of value. People identify with it. They go, hey, I can associate what this is with my brand by giving you money. So collectively, everyone built that up. So you should reap the benefits of that if someone wants to use it. So I wouldn't say it's like there's no inherently bad corporate people. Like no one's stealing the soul, right? What's stealing the soul is the people from the inside willing to sell it out. And so the questionable things, the compromising things are when someone's just, oh, I'll take this money from this person over that money because it's just money, and who cares, it's about me. So you look at like what's wrong with outerwear, right? Outside of like maybe 686. Like you look at Billabong or Volcom or any of these companies, they were bought and sold. Like they were gone a long time ago. Like they made their money. Money's gone. So what are they? I don't know. Again, I love Volcom. They're great people. I like everyone that works there, but like this idea that they're more pure than the next guy, like why? So, but it's also like, who let Mon Tech and Dope into the party? Like who left the door open? Like I would judge them harder than I would judge Monster that for good or bad has put so much money into all of this stuff. Like sure, you got to wear a weird green claw and the girl shit's kind of weird where they're all in fake leather or whatever, but they help people out, they fucking take care of people, they pay bills. So I think I'm more suspect of the people on the inside that are willing to like go, whatever, I'll take your money, fuck you. Not the outside people.
God damn. Very eloquent answer, Dave.
Really? It sounded half brain dead when I was saying it.
No,
in my head.
I think that was like summed up high level, snowboard ecosystem. That's probably the best that's ever been summed up on our show, I think, actually. I would go that far.
Yeah, again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with snowboarding because snowboarding is just sledding, standing up with your feet attached to a board, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It is so much fun. It will be fun any day you go. Like, the other shit that people get hung up on that we talk about and have podcasts about, like, it's all noise, right? It's just...
Yeah, that's facts.
That's so true. Yeah.
It's just like, how do I pay for my shit? There was a brief time at Burton where I was talking to Jake and I asked him, and I'll save you guys the answer because it wasn't that cool, but I asked him, like, how much do you really need to make a year? Like, what's the profit you need, right? Like, how much? I rode for Mervin forever. I love Mike and Pete. I'll take a bullet for those dudes. Their company's been bought and sold like 10 times. Like, I don't even know who owns Mervin anymore. Are they still for sale? I don't know. I love those dudes. They're my guys forever. But the idea of like, they might be more pure than someone else, like, I don't know if that's true. I remember a tennis guy running it at one point. Like, I don't know. And, it's the same thing with Burton, right? Like, Burton's an easy target. Like, ooh, they're a big company. It's like, whatever, Burton, at least during my time frame of snowboarding, Burton gave every single pro snowboarder bindings, unlimited. You need bindings, you got them from them. And it's like, they didn't say no. They didn't say go buy them yourself, asshole. It was like, they still participated. So sure, everyone's trying to make a buck. It's called business, capitalism, but I think most companies have been around are pretty good.
What it would be cool to talk about is, we haven't touched on the Boost Mobile era. And, I didn't know you were the man behind the scenes. I was hanging out with Lucas Magoon when he was on Boost Mobile, and everybody they would wear their cell phone, which was a flip phone, around their neck. It was almost like rocking a chain. Dingo had one. Gooner had one. I think Danny, and it was the cell phone money era was a great era, Dave. And you were the guy with the keys to Boost Mobile at the time, right?
Well, I was fortunate. So Burton had let me go. I was having a baby. I was in a bit of a panic. Like, what the fuck? I got bills. And Cersei hit me up and she's like, hey, these Australians are over here and they're starting a mobile phone company and they want to sell it to surfers. Do you want to help them? I'm like, yeah, I need a job, so let's go talk to them. And I went and met him. The guy that hired me, Adrian Hunter, was just this amazing giant human of an Australian guy who just wanted to ride his dirt bike. That was his thing. And his thing was like, I don't really know. You seem all right. You tell me what we need to do. And then I'll tell you what we're going to do with what I like, which was the motocross stuff. I'm like, cool. The Hill brothers were early investors in Boost Mobile in Australia. So Hill brothers owned Dwindle and Globe. So the first people that were, I didn't have to explain to anyone what a team rider was because the Hill brothers were like, hey, welcome to America. You're going to pay our skaters an obscene amount of money. But their skaters were like Day One and Appleyard and all these fucking amazing people. So I was like, this is a layup. I don't have to explain to anyone. And that's where the level's been set. Like, okay, that's the low mark. So I was able to help navigate that. But one of the things that was like, first things first was like, hey, there's no surfers that are buying these prepaid phones. Like, that's not how America works. So it was like trying to help the Australians understand like who their product was actually for, and then going, okay, let's make an aspirational brand out of this, but still understand where we're selling it. So, which was like, people with poor credit. We had a huge beginning because the push to talk, you don't use towers on it. And so you could get a prepaid phone and go back and forth between Mexico with the push to talk, and it wasn't an international charge. So it was $1 a day to go back. So there was like some things that built the business based on market opportunity, not just brand, but the brand stuff was great. The thing that I feel I did best at Boost Mobile was I hired this guy, Damian Robertson, who was just a buddy from Encinitas, who had never had like a real job. I'm like, oh my God, you're a good person. People like you. You're our guy. And then we got Janae, who like was Dingo and Lucas's gal. So it wasn't really the opportunity with there was, again, like you build a bunch of people and everyone makes it successful. That's the trick, really, is no one's going to like everyone. It just doesn't happen. So you get everyone involved equally, and then people gravitate to different people, but you're all on the same team, so it works out. So like, I barely interacted with Lucas or Dingo or Danny or any of those guys, but we were all in it together because they wanted to talk to Janae. So it's like, worked out.
We got a Patreon question in that regards.
Yeah.
Pull your mic closer.
This question's from Sean Lake.
Oh God, this guy, Bubs.
Since retiring from being a pro, you've always found a way to funnel funds back into snowboarding from all the cell phone companies. My question to you is, while hosting the Boost Mobile Pro in Chicago, how did you pull off getting Kanye West to open up the show? Remember, it's tough being a man while fighting the man.
Yeah, that's a Thrasher quote. It's hard to fight the man being the man. My eventing days, like whenever you're doing an event, like you're thinking about everyone else's safety and their experience, but you're also like trying to like keep it under control, right? So you're like, hey, get as loose as you can, but not that loose. So and with Thrasher, it's like our whole thing is like, you break shit, right? And it's like, no, you break their shit. Yeah, I think the question kind of was what we were harping on a little bit more before. The idea isn't like I was funneling money back into snowboarding. What was happening was there's an opportunity to identify with a consumer base that's a younger consumer, which is within snowboarding, and then you can make a relevant connection between the brand and the consumer by leveraging these relationships. So the opportunities that I've had to have brands that aren't considered endemic participate is just like, hey, here's how we can leverage these relationships to help build our brands. So there's no bait and switch there. The cell phone days, I'm like, fuck, we should have bought dune buggies. Like there's so much money going around. It's like, I didn't walk away with much.
He asked about Kanye West.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of is what we did at Thrasher as well, right? It's all of the stuff, people gravitate towards snowboarding, skateboarding, all that. And you have the opportunity to talk to people who aren't necessarily already blown up but have an interest in what you're doing. So Kanye early on, I'm a fan of rap music, right? Or hip hop, whatever you call it. So Freddie Gibbs would have been my first choice. Woo! Gary represent. But Kanye was available. We got him to play. He opened. And it was just him coming up, right? I think we had Twista play at one of the parties too. It was pretty sick. But at Thrasher, Thrasher always had music in the magazine since the beginning of its launch. And one of the things that I feel helped Thrasher kind of, especially with the merch, is bringing that music a little bit more to the forefront, or at least using a connector of like, hey, you may not know how to do a tray flip, but we both can agree we like this music. You have these values, we have these values, we kind of align with it. Let's all celebrate it. So like getting the ASAP crew and Odd Future and all those guys involved, some of them skated, so you didn't have to bridge that gap at all. They knew. And then some of them were just like, oh, we fuck with you because you guys are, like this. So they're easy opportunities. When we did deathmatch, we would have everyone take a photo with their check that we wrote them, just so they couldn't be like, you didn't pay me. And we paid Travis Scott $1,000 to play our party once.
Damn.
So like there's plenty of those stories to go around. But again, you get people on the come up. I mean, at one point we didn't have room for JPEG Mafia. There was just no room. So we had to say no. And then like 2 years later, I'm like, he's number one? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's great. Music and this shit all goes together, right?
Yeah.
And again, I think the values of the music that everyone gravitates to aligns with the values that we all have. So it's an easy bridge.